Where did the spooky go? And why does nothing scare us anymore? Halloween is a holiday season, a spooky season that used to be filled with frights. It'd make you nervous just thinking about it and the monsters that could be lurking out there. When you went outside in your neighborhood, especially at night, everything felt different. As soon as that clock hit 12 and October began, it was like the fog rolled in and the world was suddenly different. The darkness was darker, filled with tall uncanny figures lurking in wait. Houses were decorated with all of the creepiest and most spine-tingling things you could imagine, as if they'd been pulled straight from your nightmares. Skeletons, ghouls, ghosts, zombies, spiders, graveyards, all there to put the fear in your bones, in your soul. There was an essence of true magic and bewildering unknown to it all. As the years have gone by, Halloween became less and less a time of spookiness, and instead was whittled down to be a hollowed out pumpkin, uncarved and no candle in sight, a corpse of its previous self. Nowadays, Halloween is just another thing on the list that we have to spend heaps of money on if we ever want to take part. If you look at the shelves, you can find Halloween themed everything. You know that favourite character of yours you love so dearly? Yeah, well, come buy a mug with them on. How about a t-shirt, a hoodie, a mystery box, and literally anything you could imagine. Stitch themed toilet paper. I know this isn't the truth for everyone, but for me and a lot of people, Halloween has lost its magic. Spookiness, scariness, it doesn't exist as much anymore. It feels like it's now just a thing of the past, something we reminisce on, something we get glimpses into, but never enough, like we had when we were children. And the obvious answer could be, maybe it's just that we grew up. Maybe it's not the world that's changed, but it's us that have changed. One reason I want to go across is that it feels like we try to debunk and get behind the curtain of every little thing, that it then loses its magic, its effect on us as humans. When we're children, we don't think about that. We just experience it. We have fun. We have more of a creative, imaginative mind. So even if it isn't as spooky as it actually is, we create it to be more creepy because of our imagination alone. So if you're someone who's dealing with the fact of not understanding why everything doesn't feel the same anymore, I think you should realise that it's not really your fault that you feel that way, that you don't feel the magic. And I know you don't have to believe in ghosts and ghouls and Santa Claus, even though Santa is probably like a demon. It's come from like an alternate dark world. There's actually feeding on the greed of humans, and he's been doing it ever since the dawn of time. The more we try to understand it and explain it, the less scarier it becomes, as there's nothing as scary as the unknown. The unknown is one of the most powerful things in this world. It holds so much power. And when you have more imagination as a child or as a creative person, and you've held on to that childish imagination, then the unknown seems bigger and wilder than it ever could be. But if you don't, you try to explain and find reasons for every single little thing, then nothing feels as good. It all feels like it's just bland, like a cake with no icing. A big example is how horror films scare us to pieces as kids, but then as we grow up and see that it's all just tricks, makeup, and we see that none of the monsters will actually come and take us away or hide in that closet or under your bed.
Not in the cupboard. Why not in there, George?
Then we never really get as spooked or scared as we once did. And yes, on one side you could say that's a good thing, because we don't get as scared anymore, we can sleep better, we don't have nightmares about the Weeping Angel or the Slender Man or Jeff the Killer. You can say this is a natural part of life, of growing up, maturing, and becoming a boring adult with next to nothing imagination. Being told by the people around us in society that we have to let go of that childish magic, a way of seeing the world in vibrant colours, and instead look upon the world with a dull, bland vision, as if you're seeing it through black and white. And it's true, we get told we have to be mature, we have to be responsible, but the thing is we can still be that way and still have that childish imagination. It's still there. It's there from the day we're born to the day we die. It's just that some people decide to suppress it, and you can learn to better let it out and express that inner child, that imagination you've buried deep beneath your thoughts and the personality you've created for yourself. When watching a horror film, and instead of enjoying it and letting yourself have fun and be scared, you try to explain or figure out how it was all done and made, as our adult analytical brains just love to do, as that is a thing of becoming an adult. We become more analytical, more critical. We critique every little thing instead of just letting it be, like the Beatles once said. These days, all we mostly get in horror films is cheap jump scares, overused creepy violin sound effects, ones that insidious perfect collected and somehow left in the dust for worse and more bland ideas. Horror became an overproduced, underwritten shell of its previous self. Remakes upon remakes upon remakes. Somehow, the more money they spent on them, the worse they got. They should have really learned to take a page out of the Blair Witch Project's book. The original one, of course. The other two, shambles. And if you haven't seen the original Blair Witch Project, I'd say definitely watch with the lights off and a spare change of underpants. Modern horror has gained a reputation for being slop, badly written and even more badly acted garbage with characters you have so little care for that you end up rooting for the killer, celebrating them whenever they kill one. The truth is, we might never find out what happened to the spooky and where it went, where Halloween disappeared to, and why it's now been replaced by a bad copy, Halloween which doesn't feel like Halloween. Yes, we put out decorations, yes, we put out treats, and yes, we buy all the Halloween themed items at Tesco and Asda, but does that make it Halloween? Or is that us just pretending Halloween is the same as it once used to be? Maybe it's the us, the humans, we're the ones who ruined it. We're the ones who took away the magic that was there. In the beginning, we started Halloween, and we will be the ones to end it. I feel like the more Halloween became about how much money companies, shops and places could rinse out of people taking part in the frightevities, the less magical and the less spooky the season became. As now, it just became like everything else in this world. Every other tradition that us humans have also ruined. It was now just all about money. This is the duality of humanity. We create beautiful, amazing things, yet in the end, we make it all about money and lose what made it special in the first place. The creepy vibes, the eerie feel that was once there, it's been taken away by greed, by humans, by us. We are the reason the spooky has gone. That feel is disappearing bit by bit. Its soul has been ripped away from what made it what it was. It's the same as humans. The more greedy we become, the more money hungry we become, the less soul we have inside of us. And then we end up ripping the soul out of other things that still have soul left. As if consuming it makes them even more soulless and they turn into like demons. I mean, look at the biggest people in this world, you know? The leaders, the people in charge of businesses, companies. I'm not going to name them, but you know who I'm talking about. Are they more like humans or more like demons? More like soulless corpses, zombies, trying to zap the soul and the creativity and the magic and the true humanity out of humanity. Think back to those days, the 2000s, 2010s. Look at the old pictures, the old videos, how much fun everyone was having, how much better it felt. Now, one big thing in this world that people are saying has ruined society and humans is our phones, is social media, the internet. This thing that we spend 99% of our time on every day. It's changed us. We don't experience life the same. We experience it through a phone. And even if we are experiencing life, we decide the phone takes precedent. We record every little moment, though that's not a completely bad thing, as I feel documenting your life is something you should do. Writing down what you've done, events you've been through, and yes, recording it, but not all the time. We don't live as much as we used to, and so we don't experience life, Halloween, traditions, holidays, events the same way. It all now feels so artificial. The unknown has kind of ceased to exist in a way, because everything is debunked on social media. Everything is this way or that way, or it's this way. So many creators and influencers who tell you this is how life is, or this is how life is, or tells you this is what is right and this is what is wrong. And because we hear it so much, it's like a rumor. The more you hear it, the truer it becomes. And so we take what they say for fact, and we don't make our own minds up of life, of things that we see and live through. No, we hear it from someone else, from ChatGPT, from a video, from a TikTok, and we take on their views and we don't make our own. And so this may be a thing on a whole wider scale. It may be a lot more than just where did the creepy go, or what happened to Halloween, or what Halloween used to be. But that is a big factor that we need to investigate, and people have been investigating it for quite a while now. As for the previous few years, less and less trick-or-treaters have been visiting houses. In my own experience, the last 2 years, we put treats out, we put sweets out, yet no one comes. No costume child at the door, giddy to get more chocolate and sweets like we once were, like we vividly remember being, and yet will never experience again. Everyone all over the world has witnessed this. And yes, it may not be everywhere, but it is happening. And for that reason, people have stopped taking part. They've stopped putting out treats. They've stopped decorating their houses. Because what's the point? If there's no one out there wandering the streets, no one looking upon their houses, upon their decorations, and to walk to their door, to knock and say trick or treat, then why would they do it? And so maybe it's that we have just stopped believing in Halloween. You may say, but Halloween was never real to begin with. It's just a holiday us humans came up with to pass the time. Or as what it began as isn't what it is now. It's changed. Halloween has become very different. It became Americanized. So you may be asking, what do we do? What is it we can do to repair this? To get back to the Halloween we once used to have. The times we took for granted when we didn't realize we'd blink and they'd be gone. Well, we can do what we humans have always done. We can believe. We can continue to put our belief in Halloween, to take part in the festive, spooky season, and to just have fun with it. Not try to explain every little thing of why Halloween exists or whatever. It doesn't matter. That's in the past. What we have to do now is make Halloween what Halloween used to be. Something to just spruce up your days. Halloween was a time for us to get together as a community, an event we could all take part in as humans, as a combined collective people. And these days it feels more and more like everyone is disconnecting from each other. We talk to less people, and instead we just talk online. Or we barely talk at all. We just look at our phones the whole time and never even look in the direction of another person. So that's why Halloween, the spooky season, it could bring us together again as a real community and bring the spooky back. Put the spooky back in the season and let the spooky season continue. In the end, is there just one sole reason for why the spooky has gone? Why we don't feel scared anymore in this season, in this life? No, there's a very tall top hat full of reasons, but we can't let them break us down. We can't let them stop us from believing in Halloween and the spooky and the magic of the season. Thank you for watching. This has been just a little thought of mine. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you enjoy this year's Halloween. Even if you haven't for the last few years, just try to enjoy it again. Try to feel that way as you did as a kid. Embrace those feelings, that eerie vibe, that creepiness that you haven't felt for a long time. Try new things, experiment, live life in ways you never have. I've been George Kolenzo, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye. Spooky, scary skeleton.